Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, American markets can't seem to turn positive. After nervous weakness yesterday on Wall Street, which saw the S&P 500 fall a chunky 1.4%, Asian markets shrugged off the single, closing unchanged. Overnight, European equity markets were little changed as well, except in London, which was down 0.9%. But Wall Street is back at its losing ways and down 0.4% in midday trade, although the day's losses are being trimmed somewhat in later times. As the US federal government shutdown drags on, even the White House is conceding it will take a severe toll on the first quarter 2019 growth. And the consequences are getting dizzyingly complicated. Although ordered back to work without pay, IRS staffers aren't showing up in sufficient numbers to process tax refunds. That means cash is staying in government coffers and the US Treasury bill auction requirements are much lower, which may drive down yields. But when the situation returns to normal, the sudden new outflow could well precipitate a new debt limit crisis. In Japan, the central bank kept its policy settings unchanged and lowered its inflation forecast for the umpteenth time. In Australia, the independence and ethics of regulators, a minority of them, are being challenged, not to mention the behaviour of some large corporates, a minority of them. Conflicts of interest are a pervasive problem in the financial services world there. Maybe Hayne will be addressing some of them in his upcoming report. There will be implications for the way New Zealand financial services are delivered, especially in insurance and especially by brokers. And staying in Australia, the heat wave cascading over them is taking a toll on its electricity supply. 2 brown coal generators are now out of action, and that dramatically raises the risks of power cuts there, just when air conditioning is desperately needed. Victoria and South Australia are especially vulnerable. The US Treasury 10-year yield is firmer at 2.76% today. Their 2-10 curve is still at 16 basis points. Gold is up another $2 to $1,285 an ounce. And US oil prices are holding lower today at just on $52 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is just on $60.50 a barrel. The Kiwi dollar has risen about 0.75% and now at 67.9 US cents. That's due to yesterday's inflation report. On the cross rates, we're up strongly against the Aussie as well at 95.2 Australian cents. That's a gain of almost 1 cent. We're also firmer at 59.6 euro cents. That puts the TWI up to 72.1, the same level it was on Christmas Eve. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.